Good evening, people, and welcome back to part 12 of the Laurel and Hardy series. And this disc is called Laurel and Hardy and the Law, a collection of classic shorts which find themselves mostly on the wrong side of the law. And there's quite a few on this. There's quite a few. I think the most of any disc I've come across so far. But there it is. That's what it looks like. So the first film was a film called Scram from 1932. A judge tells them to leave town because the jails are full. So leave town on charges of vagrancy. On the way home, they help a drunk, a rich drunk, because he looks like he's rich. He drops his keys down a grid. And then you have like 6 minutes of them trying to get his keys out the grid. He offers them a room at his big mansion for the night. So they get there, and then one thing leads to another, and it turns out it's not his house. So I didn't mind that one. I didn't mind it. No, I think I quite liked that one. 1932 Scram. Yeah, I think I liked that. And in the end, not in the end, but the grid that they were trying to get the keys out of, they could have just lifted it up and stood in it. But yeah, 1932 Scram. Quite liked it. And I really like this one. I think this is a rewatch. I think it is. From 1930. It's called Night Owls. This policeman is no good. There's been 40-odd burglaries on his watch, and his chief gives him an order: solve these burglaries or you're out. So on his rounds, he comes across Stan and Ollie just sleeping on a park bench. He says, "I'll arrest you or you do something for me." And what he wants them to do is burgle the chief's house so that he can arrest them, and then he'll be back in the good books. Stan and Ollie thinking, what's in it for us? And he keeps saying, no, don't worry. If you get arrested, when you get arrested, I'll see to it that you get out of prison. Don't worry about it. So off they go to the chief's house. The essence is silence, and everything they do makes a noise, and everything they do to counteract that makes more of a noise. They have a great scene when they're trying to get into the house. They go through a window. Stan gets in, comes round, opens the door, sees Ollie trying to get through the window, shuts the door and comes back, and they're in the house, they're out the house, they're in the house. I thought that one was great. I thought that one was a great watch. Night Owls. Then a couple of silent films before they became an official team. The Second 100 Years from 1927. Stan and Ollie are inmates with shaved heads, and it doesn't suit them. They try to escape. They dig a tunnel. They end up in the warden's office, but they don't give up. They try and escape all the time. They eventually escape disguised as painters, and they go around painting everything. And there's a copper watching them. They paint in the windows, cars, the engine of cars. They're painting everything. To get away from him, they steal a limo, and one thing leads to another. They get mistaken for the French dignitaries that are coming to look at the prison. And where do they end up? As French dignitaries at the prison. So I didn't mind that one for a silent film. I didn't mind that one. I thought it was quite solid, that one. The Second 100 Years. Also from 27, Call of the Cuckoo. This is not a Laurel and Hardy film. It does not deserve to be in this set. So it's all about this family. They escape. They don't escape. That's a lie. I've got escape written down for some reason. They move house to get away from the madhouse that lives next door. Stan and Ollie and some crazy people live next door. Maybe an asylum. But they move to this house that has been jerry-built. It was built in 2 days and took 2 years to sell. Everything's wrong. You've got floors not level. You've got a lovely floor in a kitchen decorated. As soon as you get a mop on it, it wipes all the pattern off. Fire comes out the taps and water comes out the gas jets. right at the end of the film, Stan and Ollie and the crazy people are outside the house waving, "We've bought the house next door." So Stan and Ollie in it a little bit at the beginning when Stan puts an apple on Ollie's head and then goes to shoot it off with a bow and arrow, and then in it at the end. It's not a Laurel and Hardy film, but the film was okay, but not their film. Also from 1927, Duck Soup, which I think the Three Stooges made a film called Duck Soup. It sounds very familiar. Either way, Laurel and Hardy seek refuge from forest rangers who want to get hobos and all these people to put out fires in a forest. They find a mansion that the owner's out. He's on holiday. The owner's on holiday, so Ollie takes the role of owner, rents this house to a couple of English people, and then daft things happen in the middle, and then the real owner shows up. Stan's got to dress up as the maid, but the real owner shows up at the end. It was remade later on into Another Fine Mess, which I think I wasn't mad on that one. I'd rather watch it than this, but it was all right. It was all right. Then another one, 45 Minutes from Hollywood. This is not a Stan and Ollie film either. It's all about this family. They've got to pay some debt. So they send a couple of them off to Hollywood. They see all the Hollywood sights. And in the second half of the film, Ollie shows up for like maybe a scene or two. Doesn't do much. And then in the back end of the second half, Stan shows up in bed. Doesn't do anything. They're never in the film at the same time, in the same picture, in the same frame. So that should not be a Laurel and Hardy film either. And then the last one, Big Business from 1929, also a silent film. Stan and Ollie, they sell Christmas trees. They go around selling Christmas trees. They have no luck from anyone. Then they stop off at James Finlayson's house. And we then have a tit-for-tat scene, which they can be quite fun. He cuts their Christmas tree in 3 pieces. So Stan takes some wood off his door. So James Finlayson then breaks Ollie's watch, and it goes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I do like tit-for-tat films. They can be quite fun. So I quite enjoyed that one. Big Business. My favourite will be Scram and Night Owls. Probably Night Owls, but yeah. And then there's another something on here, which is Night Owls in an extended Spanish language edition, but as we know, I don't bother with them. There they all are, a jam-packed disc for a rather long video, nearly just over 8 minutes, but that is disc number 12, Laurel and Hardy and the Law. Thanks for watching. Comments are welcome.